This is going to be great. Absolutely great. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DJ Greg podcast. Listen, I'm glad you're here. Today's guest is one of Minnesota's top wedding officiants. She also specializes in wedding and event decor from Positively Charmed. This is Leslie Johnson. Hey, Leslie, how we doing?
Hi, Greg. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for being a guest on the show.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. Let's get right into it, though. How did you get involved with officiating weddings?
So we'd have to go back probably about almost half my life, seriously, coming close to half my life ago. So I was living down in Austin, Texas, and I was managing a restaurant. And some friends of mine were getting married, and they asked me to, first they asked me to help with their wedding. And then they called me and they said, we'd really like you to officiate. And what they were doing is it was kind of a cool scene. They had a man and a woman officiating. So I would ask the groom questions and then he would ask the bride questions. And it was really beautiful. It was like this out in the woods. It's unforgettable wedding for me. It was so beautiful. There were bagpipes and, it was this mix of kilts and military uniform. I mean, it was really beautiful. So,
Wow.
and then about 6 months later, my sister inquired and said, hey, what was that wedding about? What did you do? So then I went out to Washington, D.C., and I did her ceremony for her and her husband. And that was back in 1998.
Wow.
So I have not been doing it since then. What happened is I moved back to Minnesota. I went and I traveled all over the place. And then when I kind of got settled in, I thought, I kind of got hooked by it. And most people you talk to who officiate kind of get hooked by it because it's such an amazing thing to be standing there, like witnessing two people. You're right there. It's really amazing. So
Right.
then then I got serious about it. So
Yeah.
then that was when I got serious about it. I licensed myself or got registered with the state, and then I started doing ceremonies, and then I went to seminary because I really wanted to back up what I was doing, like I did my diligence on it. So I
Right.
went to seminary and I did my master's in religion and theology, and that way I can bridge. Most people I work with want some bridging with like faith traditions. And it helps families to know that I have some training, that I'm serious about it. So and seminary was amazing. I mean, it was such a gift. So
Wow.
long answer.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You explained the whole process because, like you said, you decided to get very serious about it, not just hop on the internet and just say, I can officiate weddings. You went through a whole process to get this done. How long did that process take?
So I went to seminary for 3 years. And then when I started getting busy, I had to learn marketing, and I went to Women Venture for like a small business course, which really helped.
Okay.
And then I decided to get a professional office, and then I did premarital counseling training. So it's just kind of an ongoing, I think any small business entrepreneur, it's an ongoing process of always learning more. So yeah, it's good.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite the training right there. I mean, really, it is. And like you said, it's ongoing.
Yeah.
When you first got started in this business, what was some of maybe the early mistakes or early parts that made you trip up, and then how did you quickly correct those mistakes?
I have never made a mistake. Okay, so one time you only do this once. And this is why you only do this once. I'm in the middle of a ceremony and I had tucked my briefcase underneath the gift table, with the linens on it so you couldn't see it. And in the middle of the ceremony, a phone started ringing. And it was mine. So, oh my gosh, it's mortifying. So that was one. And that's why with guests, I always go up before the ceremony starts so that it's not part of the ceremony. I keep it separate, but I
Right.
go up and make sure everybody has their ringers turned off. And then I always interview my couples, and there's only been one who said, no, let people leave their phones out for photos. So, but part of that is my own more, you don't want to be that person. And then
Right.
one time, they only do this once too. You start the ceremony and you're going on, and then you look out and you realize everybody's still standing. Where you didn't ask people to sit down. It's like pretty funny. I don't know. I'd have to think. I'm sure there's others, because they're all kind of like that, like just sort of whoops, you know.
Isn't that amazing when you're officiating? People will not sit down unless you command them to sit.
Yeah, it's just it's like people, no matter how lighthearted or casual or whatever a ceremony can be, it's all over the map these days. People still really just honor that moment. I mean, even if people show up and they're like in a park in khakis, there's still this sort of, stand to attention kind of thing. Yeah.
That's true. That
Mm-hmm.
is so true. All right, so I know there's another process when you do get an inquiry from a couple and they want to go through the premarital counseling. As they're going through that, when do you get a feel that, okay, I'm getting to know these guys and I can pretty much figure them out? When do you get that feeling?
So I believe pretty much everyone in town who does premarital counseling uses the same system. It's a really great system called Prepare Enrich. And so couples go online and they each take the test separately, and then it comes back to the person, I get their results. And
Okay.
then we use workbooks to go through these exercises. And it's a really great program. I mean, it really gives insight, and it's, for me to see the results, there's so much I can tell right away. And there's a few things about premarital counseling. I think it's such a great process. People will say, hey, we want to get a discount on our marriage license. And I'm like, it's great that the state of Minnesota offsets the cost of counseling by giving you a discount, but you're going to get so much more than a discount on your license.
Hmm.
So, and it's funny too, because quite often when a couple shows up, one of them thinks they're right and they really want you to ally with them, and usually everything, any conflict, any problem, issue, any little quirks that they might have, it's almost always based on fear. And when they have
Hmm.
a third party moderator and you lift that, you give space to like express, it's amazing.
Wow.
There's like 12 different areas, depending on the couple, that they get scored on. And one of my favorite episodes is called Conflict Resolution. You watch people, their eyes just open with like, oh my God, we never would have imagined this resolution. So it's really cool.
Okay.
And
Kind of
then
makes
it helps with the ceremony, because you get to know them even on those other levels.
right. When you come in, you feel good, the couple feels good about, getting married, and they have no like other thoughts, like suppose this happens, suppose that happens.
Hmm.
And then they're hit with something, and then it's like, okay, how do we get through this?
You're good. You should do it. You have an insight on that.
I don't know if I'm good on it. You know what it is? It's just years experience of just, it's to me, it's like how you say it, you know?
Hmm.
That's really the key. It's like how you say it. You can say like this dress looks really bad, or maybe you can say, hey, there's a better color for you. Maybe this color doesn't fit. Let's try this color. Hey, let's
Right.
try this color. By no means am I an expert, like a
Yeah.
relationship expert. Do you find yourself like being a part of maybe that field of being a relationship expert?
Well, I do. I have a background. I've always been an armchair psychologist. I really love different psychologists and different philosophies around human personality. So, so I really love. I mean, after having been involved with so many couples for so long, you can um, you can just sense like a lot about how to help couples find a better partnership. And I mean, the thing is, sometimes I work with couples who their scores are like on paper look terrible. But
Hmm.
sometimes they're the ones where you look at them and you're like, they are so willing to fight for this. They're so willing to do the work that the people who on paper don't look so great might be the ones that have a better advantage because of their willingness to really take part in resolving,
Okay. I
Yeah,
like that.
curious.
Yeah. Like you always say, marriage is work, right?
hmm
So, it's
It's probably like some people say it's the best work that, you know, when you're engaging with one other person and you're doing all the work to uphold a relationship and maintain that connection, it's the best work on yourself. And then I always feel like a couple, their love just ripples outward. So if they're doing the work, then everybody around them benefits from it. Certainly children and
right.
extended family and colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in premarital counseling, people will say, I've been using this stuff at work.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow. Just to make the work relationship better.
Well, like you're saying, maybe that desk does make your butt look fat.
And
Not the
then
way you
quickly
say
run
it.
out the room. Because that's what I would do. There's no coming back from there.
Right, right.
Oh man, speaking of no coming back, or maybe well, it seems like maybe no coming back, COVID. Because
Mm.
man, when it hit, I mean, it affected every business.
Oh
What
my
were some of the
goodness.
adjustments that you had to make, during this COVID process?
I'm sure that like everybody else, I first I think that this situation that we're all in, it has an added obstacle to it because I think that we all have varying levels of like brain fog and sort of trauma and depression. I mean, there's all this mental health stuff going on that is very nuanced and subtle. So there were times where I was handling all this, it's like a big shell game, handling all the postponement dates and stuff.
Yes.
And, so sometimes there'd be 3 emails, 4 emails, and post-it notes and paper clips and calendar checks. And sometimes I was like, oh my God, because I didn't have the technology. I didn't have the like CRMs that other people have. So I had to create whole new systems to track my postponements. And while I was doing that, I was also, you should see, I mean, the micro ceremonies coming in,
Yes.
like this amazing amount going on. So making sure that I was keeping track of all of those, because that's a different process too. And thank goodness for Zoom. I mean, I don't know how any of us could, all of my civil ceremonies, micro ceremonies are all Zoom consults.
Hmm.
So it's like just staying on track of everything. So spreadsheets galore.
Yeah.
And you quickly realize like, whoa, you got to tack this stuff down because it's going to get out of control. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That is a
and
crazy
then
thing.
there's stuff that's out of your control too, because I need to contact some other officiants because I have a couple that work with me under my umbrella, but I
Mm-hmm.
have 6 ceremonies that all want October 16th of next year. Like, what's with
Wow.
October 16th? So that kind of thing happens too, it's problematic.
Yeah. Everybody wants that very important date. I think this year it was June 20th. For me, I mean, everybody was calling in on June 20th. I'm like, what is it with this date, June
Yeah.
20th?
Yeah.
There were like maybe 6 or 7 events that I had, and they all got uh, moved over. But that,
Hopefully for you, and I know for most of us, postponement was the magic word, you know?
yeah, yeah.
I didn't have anybody that wanted to cancel. And anybody
Wow.
who wanted to, like, decided to cancel their larger wedding still went forward with the civil ceremony. So my deposit covers the civil ceremony.
Okay.
But man, as a business trying to stay financially solvable, that could have been a big problem.
Yeah. And this is all you do, right?
Yeah, I do a couple other things. I do the decor, which is definitely financially, that diversification of business
Right.
really helps. And then I do some pastoral care work. I go to treatment facilities and I do lectures on spirituality. And then I go to Lino Lakes correctional facilities and I do the same thing. Now, right now, I have not been going in-house, neither at Lino Lakes nor at the treatment facilities because of COVID, but I've been doing COVID or Zoom lectures and sending writings off. So that's pretty great. It's kind of fulfilling because, I get to share in a lot of joy, but then
Yeah.
on the spiritual level, doing the work, I get to give back on those levels,
Yeah.
which is pretty great. Yeah.
Very profound because it seems like you have you have a diverse of skills. You know what I mean? And they all tie in like together, especially like with the decor, you do the ceremony, then you give the the event a certain look. So what kind of like certain looks are you giving out? Are you doing like the rusted thing or are you doing
So, so my background was in fine arts, and then I lived in Italy for a while, so I'm a little bit hooked on the European style, that old world look.
okay?
So I have about 10 different collections, and then depending on what you do with them, floral wise or whatever, they look different. So I have a couple modern sets, like brass geometrics, and then I have a huge brass candlestick and glass collection. But a lot of my stuff is like, you see this really
Yes.
like classic. I really like the classic look of decor. And I'm a collector, so it's really fun because I get to just go around and collect stuff.
Okay.
A lot of thrift stores.
You see a lot of these at the antique stores, right? Is that
Yeah, you see that, and then a lot of mine all are just from like home stores too.
hmm
You just got to find the collections that feel like they'd work in an event space.
right?
A lot of candlelight.
A lot of candlelight,
A
huh?
lot of candlelight.
Okay, candles
Yeah.
are coming back.
Very theatrical.
Right, right.
Yeah. One of my biggest, so I'm on Pinterest, of course, and the
hmm
pin that gets pinned all the time. I don't know if you were at Hall of Kings, what TCWP at a meeting there, and I did this big Renaissance setting for the ceremony site, and it's just over the top, like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and it gets pinned all the time. It's so funny, like this
Wow.
super theatrical setting.
Okay,
So
I gotta
it's
check that
rare
out.
that
I
you can,
missed
yeah, it's rare that you can find people that will go over the top like that, but that's why we do style shoots, right?
that. Yeah, just to showcase of what you have.
Yeah.
So, what does the future look like for Positively Charmed?
Gosh, I mean, we can hope, we can hope that we'll get back to a sense of normalcy. Um, Everybody's doing packages right now for micro weddings. And so that I am in development with that as well, because I have 3 different spaces that I can use for that. Cornerstone being one. So, and then I'm at the Southern Theater, which
Okay.
is the Southern Theater is in 7 Corners, and it's been a slow process, but I'm onboarded now as the person that handles sales for that space for weddings and events. And it's so beautiful there. It's really, but,
Wow.
and then, I've been at Semple Mansion for 8 years now. I can't even believe it. But I still have a very, very, very soft spot in my heart for this place, and will continue doing packages here. But it's tricky, because doing those smaller packages, while it's really helpful to couples right now, if we keep moving forward toward that trend, I just hate to think of what it does to so many businesses,
Yeah.
and what happened, like here now, if people hold their weddings here, you're going, of course, by the percentage of your capacity. So every wedding in town is getting cut to 30% or of what it had been. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you pretty much have to reinvent the wheel,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, I guess on my end, people still want to celebrate. They still want to have that, you know, that eating, that speaking, that
Mhm.
gathering of being in the space. And, you know, it's just a matter of just adjusting
Yeah, I
for,
think mostly I'm concerned for the businesses that have that are based on count on the amount of people, like caterers.
hmm
You know, a space is going to remain the same size regardless, and
right.
the DJ, you know, they need the same amount of music, you know. Um,
They do. They want to wild out by the end of the night.
uh, so yeah, it's hard to know. Um, yep, we'll see. 'Cause like decor wise, I mean, my decor business has definitely come way down. And then you're working with couples for 2021 who are booking, and it's like, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll do the bid, and we'll craft it for this size that you're looking forward to, and then we'll get ready to cut it back, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great thing. People still want to get married.
Yeah, it's and so many couples, like, once they made the decision, you could see the relief. They
Right.
just had to get over that hump and then postpone and then get married now because they wanted to get married, you know?
That's
And
true.
then once they made the decision and postpone and are getting married, it's pure joy, you know? And I'm always encouraging them to do the mask kiss, because it might be, most of them have a pretty good attitude about the mask kiss, you know? But I'll tell you what, in a year from now, they're going to love having that mask kiss, unless they, you know, what a weird time to celebrate. But it's really, you can tell too, like if you're doing an elopement ceremony that's out in public, like in a
hmm
park or something, people are just so happy to see love happening. You know, it's
Absolutely.
like this little gold nuggets of normalcy that people are getting married.
Right, right. You're not trapped, you know, binge watching whatever. Are you guilty of that? When COVID hit, what were you binge watching, Leslie?
Oh my God. So people will laugh. So I'm doing this as an ode to my brother. I lost my brother right when COVID hit. And he was
Sorry
a
to hear.
Survivor fan. And I never, ever, ever I never got within a yardstick of the show Survivor. But as an ode to Edward, I've been watching Survivor, and there's, 30 seasons.
Yes.
Endless. You're off on a beach somewhere, people are actually moving around.
And surviving.
So bad. It's so bad. It's good.
I didn't know that show still came on.
Well, I don't know if it's current. I started at season 1.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, so it's
you went
really,
way back.
oh yeah, and it's things like they'll hold up a phone and it's a BlackBerry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you went back.
Yeah.
You went back. Were there any like favorite COVID snacks?
Uh, just the usual ice cream.
Okay. Okay, I'm guilty of that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I any
Was that
particular
your
favorite?
favorite? Is that your favorite?
Strawberry,
Oh.
strawberry ice cream, Haagen-Dazs.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Haagen-Dazs is,
we go rich, you
yeah.
know. That's the good stuff. Okay, what does success look like for you? What's your meaning of success?
That's a good question, because I think we get a lot of pressure put on us as small business owners, you know, about what success is supposed to look like. And I feel like you got to watch that you don't get caught in a whirlwind of thinking, like social media pressure, you know. Now, granted, it's time for me to hire a marketing person, because I keep saying I'm going to do it myself, and then, I'm on Instagram 3 times a year. So success, I think, is being visible to the clientele that need you, And also I think that having the network of people that, you and I share a beautiful network of people.
Yes.
I think that being known amongst your peers as somebody with integrity and with skill and, being genuine with the people that you're working for, I think that is the kind of the root of what success is. And then all of the prizes and the social media followings and all of that follows. I think it's easy that, you can start to put the cart before the horse and think that you got to be all over social media before you're actually doing the work,
Yeah.
Like sometimes I have to come back to self in the midst of all of it because, we exist in a beautiful world. The industry is beautiful. There's, even when we get together and network, we're in these beautiful places with great food and we're all dressed up and having a blast and there's
Right.
flowers and candlelight, but sometimes you have to get back to why you're doing it,
Mhm.
And when I do that, when there's a nice balance between having fun with the flash and surface and beauty of it all, and then being true to yourself, then I'm in a good place.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you need that balance.
Yeah. Is there a balance?
It's a tightrope.
I love it. Hey, okay. Finally, how do people get in contact with Leslie Johnson and Positively Charmed?
Well, Google it up. So,
Okay.
seriously, because I have got my contacts out there,
Mhm.
www.positivelycharmed.com
All
is
right.
the easiest way. But I think there's a racehorse called Positively Charmed. That's my competitor.
Oh,
But
really?
otherwise, it's pretty easy to find me because if you Google me,
Yeah.
and I'm on Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook, and my newest obsession now is TikTok. I better show up on. Are you on TikTok?
I am, but I haven't done a TikTok yet.
Oh my gosh,
When
Greg!
when we get off, I have an idea of.
I'll show you Dougie.
I can't do any of those TikTok dances. There's so many of them. I can't keep up with them. But it's a fun format, though.
Yeah. There's going to be a couple that does a TikTok dance at the end of their wedding sometime.
Oh
soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do get that request. Do you know this TikTok dance? It's like, no, I don't, but I'll figure it out.
Right? Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But it's a great format of just, people having fun, which is
absolutely.
which is what we all need right now.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy it. I just
Mm-hmm.
haven't done the dances yet.
Because when I was on TCWEP yesterday, we were talking because there were a few of us dancing, and it was like, oh my God, we need a Zoom TikTok dance. We need a DJ for that, Greg.
I'm here for you. You know how to get a hold of me.
DJ Greg Ellis.
That's right, djgregellis.com. But Leslie, I want to thank you for joining in. And
this was
really
fun.
Appreciate the conversation. You gave a lot of insight. Really.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were so deeply spiritual. Just kind of
you get older and that's what happens.
That's okay, man. We all trying to go to heaven, so I get it. That's what it is. But thank you for coming on, and I know I'll see you soon.
All right, Greg, this is great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Ciao.